last one? Stormwater. There is an existing, the fourth issue that was mentioned at the meeting was the stormwater. Not the stormwater being proposed as a result of the building by Belco and their building, but the stormwater that exists on the property now. There's some sort of a stormwater, I'm gonna call it a detention basin. It might just be a hole with grass. We can't find any recorded calculations for this. We can't find it anywhere. Nobody knows technically exactly what it drains. We all think it drains Technology Parkway Road, but there are no capacity calculations that we've talked to the township, we've looked on the public record, and we can't find anything. And I think we've mentioned this, the engineer mentioned this the last time we were in front of this group, or the planning commission, that we're not even gonna touch it. In Belco's development, they're not touching the existing stormwater because they don't know what it's supposed to be doing, and if they touch it, they're gonna have to bring it up to some level that they don't know what, it's kind of a shot in the dark problem for them. So that they have designed their building to handle the stormwater that they know they will be creating, and the plan is we're gonna leave that alone. Again, under the terms of the recorded plan for Lot 5A, which is what this is, that stormwater pond is the responsibility of the developer, the association for this development. So they would be sharing in part the responsibility, financial responsibility for the maintenance of that, but they would not have it in whole. They will have their entire responsibility for the stormwater that they're creating, and they've developed a plan for that. But that existing stormwater will be part of the association's responsibility to maintain and control, and that's what we're proposing to do. That they are not willing to take it over because we have no way of knowing what it is. I mean, it exists.
That's not my recollection from the discussion at the planning commission meeting. My recollection, and Commissioner Silcox can correct me or if I was wrong, but it was agreed that the Belco would take future maintenance responsibilities of that facility. Although admittedly, your plan as before us this evening takes into account your own stormwater management requirements. So I want to make it perfectly clear that there will be stormwater management facilities to address the additional impervious area as a result of this development. But at the time, it was agreed by the representatives from Belco that there would be a note placed on the plan that future maintenance of that existing facility would also be undertaken by the property owner.
Maybe I'm being a lawyer a little too much.
The meeting minutes haven't been approved just yet because the planning commission hasn't met, but certainly the meeting minutes will reflect that discussion.
Right.
Although they're a recommending body, not an approving body.
The final subdivision plan that created Lot 5A, note 27, specifically says that the lot owner association shall be responsible for, and the first thing on that list is ownership and maintenance of open space lots and wetlands.
Well, that's interesting. I'm sure the board can consider conditionally approving the plan, assuming that that indeed is the case, because it was represented at the planning commission meeting that that was an orphaned facility to which ownership was not known from the
and you mean the stormwater
the
facility?
existing facility.
And to some degree, I think that's correct, but it is an open space. I mean, I think it meets this definition: ownership and maintenance of open space lots and wetlands. Again, Belco has no problem paying its fair share of that maintenance, but we're a little bit concerned about the idea of assuming sole responsibility for maintenance of an unknown. It would be less problematic, to us, quite honestly, if we knew exactly what it was designed to capture and what the capacity of the thing is.
I'm sure you can evaluate that as an engineer.
Well, we've actually had him look at it a couple times, and we're not entirely sure what's going on with it.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
He's the attorney from Johnson, though.
My
Yeah,
apologies.
that's okay.
I assumed you were from the engineering
if I could do math, I'd be an engineer. That's the law school saying. If I was good at math, I'd be an engineer.
I would just say that Commissioner Silcox has shown me that it was a statement by Mr. Hoke, whether that, okay.
Mr. Hoke.
That it would be agreeable to future maintenance of that facility, and was the note be added to the plan.
It's up to you, you can, I mean, I don't know what you said.
Jeremy's looking like he's ready to.
Well, absent that, we would need some kind of confirmation that's gonna be maintained, that there's some kind of easement to protect it as well, so that there need to be some kind of agreement, I assume, with our solicitor, relative to Belco and the association to confirm that the maintenance that's gonna be.
The language, I think, proposed on the plans grants that easement. We did propose language that specifically grants an easement access, both the homeowners association, or I keep calling it that, I don't have it,
Access.
and the township both.
So access.
Access for maintenance and, you know, look-see and everything.
Access and making sure that that facility is maintained moving forward is two different things. And access easement is different. I'm not going to talk about this. An access easement is different than saying that facility is going to be protected and will not be modified, it will be maintained in a certain condition to do what it was proposed to do originally.
Without getting into your client's personal business, have they acquired the property yet?
No,
So maybe they want to have a discussion with the property owner to clarify this issue and then bring the matter back in front of a future Board of Commissioners meeting, but I'll defer to the commissioners on that one.
I will say it is part of our intention to go back to the owners, because the issue of the association has been a topic from the beginning about a variety of different things that are association driven.
That doesn't involve the township, so I don't know that this, personally speaking, the commissioners should be subjected to those ongoing negotiations. But again, defer to them as to what they wish to possibly consider in the way of an action or tabling the plan for this evening.
All right, I believe January 8th, 2020 is the time limit deadline for us to act on the plan.
Okay,
Would you be open here to tabling the plan until our November meeting, which is on?
it's up to you.
November 21st, that's a Thursday evening.
Let me add that the matter, let me, maybe this helps, that the matter involving the maintenance of that stormwater facility, detention area, whatever it may be, does need to be addressed.
Correct.
And one of the recourses that the commissioners could choose tonight, if they wanted to, would just be to deny the plan, which would then restart your clock. So just be mindful
I
of
would
the
prefer
decision
we
about
not
the
take
plan
that
being
approach.
tabled.
Right.
So is that a?
So
affirmative?
as I understand it, what you're asking is Belco willing to assume responsibility for the maintenance of that stormwater plant, that stormwater, whatever it is, whole?
Well,
I think we're just saying it should be resolved, I think.
Yeah, I
Well,
think you've.
I mean, that's, for here, that's the only way that we could resolve it
Well,
here
you
today.
have a number of ways. One is to, Belco agrees to maintain that facility.
Right,
Or you ask for an extension of time on your plan, and you see if you can't arrange something with the association that may exist that can be documented to this board, so they have comfort enough to know that that facility will be maintained in the future.
so it's
I'm neither a lawyer or an engineer.
He's a banker.
I'm trying to understand. It was my opinion that the association already agreed and recorded that agreement to take responsibility for that existing.
Would confirmation of the statement, that the statement on note 27 on those plans for 5A applies to this thing, would that meet the requirements of this group? You know, so if we got the developer to say,
What's the note read, ma'am?
the note reads specifically, the quote, "The lot owner association shall be established as part of this development. This association shall be responsible for," item number 1, "ownership and maintenance of open space lots and wetlands. 2, maintenance of the stormwater management facilities, and 3, walking trails." So that goes also to the issue of the sidewalks.
What is the association?
There is a recorded set of declarations. Now, they haven't, quite honestly, it's still being operated by the developers. They haven't created one, but I think your solicitor will tell you that that's not unusual.
It is not unusual, but the fact is that there's no association that's responsible for maintaining it.
No, right now it's still the developer. ultimately, there would have to be an association. Because the declarations are on record, there's declarations and restrictive covenants on record.
Yeah, I just think, to be fair to the commissioners, that it would be appropriate if you give serious consideration to tabling the plan and having the matter officially resolved with information provided to the township in advance of our November 21st meeting. Don't see it delaying your project that significantly.
All right, that's fine, then we'll talk to the developer and see if we can get you something that is comfort. Would I address it to Mr. Miller?
I could review it. It's important that there's some kind of easement that protects the facility itself, or some kind of clarity of the O and M responsibilities.
Okay, all right, that's fine, we can do that.
Operation
Is there,
maintenance.
before we table, is there anything else you want to present on behalf of your plans?
No, I think that the four issues, those four, the two sidewalks, the stormwater and the back driveway were the four that were of concern to me. I think everything else was fairly administrative on this point.
And I do appreciate, I know originally you were talking about a larger sized building, and you came back after some concerns were expressed about that to a smaller building. So certainly appreciate you working with the township on that front. Look forward to continuing to work with you here to get this squared away
I
properly.
don't return the compliment. We've been trying to work back and forth through this issue. The comments that were brought up last week, other than the routine administrative comments, we addressed the one suggestion with reducing the second entryway. When we went back to review it, and I can address, I believe, the comment that was made earlier, it got confusing at the end of that meeting. I thought I was agreeing to investigate the maintenance as well as the investigation of the sidewalks. That's when we went back and started looking at the declaration of the kind of, and I'm like, I'm kind of overpaying for this lot. Part of that is to have a shared responsibility for the maintenance along with the other residents in there. And that's why you responded as in the manner we did, is we felt that it was already covered by agreement between the development, the master development
And Mr. Hope, you represent Belco?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your position?
I'm the vice president of corporate support, which also includes facilities.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, if we could just address the two waiver requests that you have for preliminary plan as well as the grading within 3 feet of a property line. Can you just go ahead and briefly explain?
The preliminary plan is, again, this plan, the preliminary final plan, what you're looking at really is a final plan once it gets to approval, so I don't know that we're gonna need to come back with anything, there's not gonna be any significant changes. The 3 feet of grading thing, we were trying to figure out exactly what that was.
There's some minor grading on the remaining drive right to the property line.
Jeremy, would you mind?
Yeah, there's also some grading associated with an existing storm pipe that crosses Mount Zion Road.
Yeah, there's something about some existing pipe that has to be graded.
Basically, my understanding is you guys are looking to clean that up. There's a bit of a swale that's not ideal as far as how it's configured right now. You're gonna clean that up, which requires you to go near immediately adjacent to the right-of-way line, which there is the reason for, my understanding, the reason for the waiver request. And staff would be supportive of that. They're trying to address a stormwater issue to make things better, but it would require them to grade within 3 feet of the property line.
And the preliminary plan as well.
The preliminary plans, again, the idea of requiring preliminary plans for the complex plan, I would say Penn State would be a complex plan. This is a relatively straightforward plan.
The original Penn State plan.
The original plan, yes. Right. That would be complex, but because it's the second go around it, we were supporting that waiver. This is pretty straightforward. I don't see any issues with granting a waiver for a preliminary plan. They've been responsive to our comments, and I don't think there's need to require a preliminary plan.
I appreciate that. Anything further here before
No,
we
that's all we have, I think, at this time, and we'll get you, is something in writing sufficient?
Well, I think showing an easement protecting and again, I'm going to have to defer to Solicitor Brenneman, but showing an easement protecting the specific facility,
Okay,
and then some kind of formal written documentation of the operation and maintenance requirements.
I can just put the basic easement, stormwater easement,
Right.
access easement together with the drawing and.
Yeah, the easements I can review, I'm comfortable with that, relative to whatever documentation identifying the responsibilities for operation and maintenance, I'll have Solicitor Brenneman review and confirm that they're sufficient.
Okay, good enough, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make
With,
a motion.
yeah, with that, I'll make a motion here to, table, this plan until our November 21st meeting. Thank you.
I have a regular motion that's been seconded. Is there anything on the question? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The third and final
Thank
item
you.
on our planning commission agenda is request to authorize acceptance of a plan reporting time extension to May 1st, 2020 from H. Edward Black and Associates for Cumberland Technology Park, Lot 4A. Is there anybody here to represent that plan? If not, I'll make the motion to extend that until May 1st.
I have a regular motion that's been seconded. Is there anything on the question? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Good night. Nice to see you.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
And that's it for the planning commission.
Okay, there's no issues coming before the zoning hearing board this month. We have a report from our chief of police.
Down to the diehards that sit out there and listen to the police report, thank you.
Just waiting until it stops raining,
They're
chief,
just
that's
waiting,
all.
that's the only reason there is because of the rain. If it was sunny or whatever nice out, they'd be on. But thank you. Good evening, commissioners. Reporting for the month of September, just a couple notable things. Our call volume continues to go up. Last month, we responded to 1,785 calls for service. For the year, we are up 32% over last year. And as I've said, last year we were up significantly over the prior year. So our police officers are definitely busy and running from thing to thing. But while that is going on, our reportable crashes are within the parameters of our goals from our strategic plan. So reportable crashes for the year are down 8%, and correspondingly, the injuries are down 5%. DUI arrests are up 6%, traffic citations and warnings are up 57 and 83% respectively. Crime continues to go down, so offenses reported down 7%. Again, that's over last year's reduction. And criminal arrests are up 5%. So my monthly thing of getting safer, and if you commit a crime, you have a greater chance of being caught, continues. So I hope that's the case. Just to keep you up to date, probationary police officer Rachel Mandusiak is doing well. She is going to be finishing up her FTO period where she's in the car with somebody in middle of December, and she'll be out on solo patrol. She's doing very well. We didn't expect anything different. And Officer Colleen Redifer attended and represented the township today at a women's forum. Jerry Ozog was also at that forum. And she apparently did very well. I got several comments, one from Jerry Ozog, one from the coordinator, and also from somebody that attended, that said that Officer Redifer represented the township very well. So we're excited that the people that we're hiring are actually displaying their talents out in the community and putting a good face on Hampton. And we're very proud of what they're doing out there. Other than that, I think we continue to do speed enforcement. We have a directed traffic enforcement detail that has been established for Smith Drive. That was as a result of a citizen complaint. We continue that enforcement, and I've extended it because the behavior modification has not occurred. People continue to drive at a particular speed. So for another 20 days at a minimum, and we've added yet another one out on Worksville Road to help try and bring that down. I have nothing.
Chief, do you recall when you anticipate the vendor providing
The flashing sign?
Thank you.
Yes, so I spoke with Commissioner Gaspich briefly today about that. I emailed the vendor today because we were supposed to be getting delivered in October. We are down at the end of October, and so I reached out to her today. I have not heard back from her, but I will be doing a phone call tomorrow. And I had told them before that if we don't get something soon, I was going to cancel the order. So I'll call and I'll discuss with you. I mean, this is ridiculous at this point.
Right.
I feel badly that this project is not going the way it
Apparently they're inventing some type of new sign.
apparently, I don't know what materials they're mining for this sign, but it apparently is really special. It takes a while.
Anybody else? Thank you, Chief.
Before you proceed, I'm gonna be departing for the evening. I've had enough. I just want the record to reflect that I personally put over 20 hours of time into the resolution that we all came up with. And the comments that were directed at me from the podium this evening, they went right to the heart. And I was falsely accused because of my simple association with Al. So I'm gonna go home at this point because my service to this community is obviously not appreciated.
So I appreciate it, John.
Well, that's fine, but
A lot.
people, I just want the record to reflect that the first time we found out about this was last Monday. The first time we had an opportunity to discuss it was Wednesday. The first time the public got to speak and express their concerns was Wednesday. The first opportunity we had to do anything to correct the situation was Thursday. In 5 days, we developed, had multiple attorneys review that resolution, draft the resolution, introduce the resolution, and pass the resolution. There is no, for anyone to insinuate that I was simply going through the motions to get that done in 5 days, and then to question if I'm willing to sign a statement that I'm not a certain person. I can't believe it, and I hope you guys have it on camera, because I just can't believe it.
John, I'm gonna say something.
So
I wasn't going to, but I'm gonna say something. This board, I'm proud of this board, I'm proud of you. What we did was we took something that was brought to our attention, we addressed it, and we took extraordinarily fast action, and most of the people that came to that podium tonight, most of the people said, thank you, John. Most of the people. One person got up there and did that, and you noticed that the audience did not react well to that one person. They applauded when the other people said from their heart what they thought, but those people said, thank you very much. There was only one person that did that, and I don't think that that person was what do you want to say? That the reaction from the people that were here was more support of what we did than what was being said. And I'm going to say that, because my heart was hurt too, because what we try to do in this community, I believe, is public service, not this stuff. You got the power. That's not what we're about. It's never what I was ready to do what you said and say, you know, what is it worth? John said the other night, what am I doing here? What's it all about? Why do I do this? That's what you said the other night. And you know, sometimes you get so darn frustrated when people do that kind of crap. Sorry. But you get so frustrated because you really do try. You try real hard to reach out to the folks, to come in here. We run public meetings. We've never shut anybody up. We run your meetings till midnight to let everybody, even when we don't appreciate what they're saying, we give them an opportunity to talk, to say, this is how we feel. And then the hurt sometimes, you say, why? What's it all about? But you know what? Every time I drive around Hampton Township, and I go by Saruji Park, or Veterans Park, or the Creekview Park, bikeways that we build, things that we do for the folks, that's forever.